สวัสดีครับ I'm Point from ค้นพบ Today I want to talk about letting go and how in my opinion the way in which this concept is communicated often leads to misunderstandings which leads to it being counterproductive. Oftentimes when somebody is faced with a stressful situation, a difficult challenge, faced with a loss, the people who surround them, their loved ones, out of good intention, would often say things like, let it go, right? With good meaning, with good intentions to get them to move forward in life, to give them the support and encouragement that their loved ones need. Now, in my opinion, there is a paradox that happens here in this communication. However, I have to say first that this video that I'm about to try to explain would make a lot more sense in the Thai version because it has to do specifically with the context of Thai language and Thai culture. Being a Buddhist culture here, the majority of Thais are Buddhist. We often associate letting go as something to strive upon, to strive for, right? The highest, most noble goal to achieve. In other words, what the monks are trying to do through insight meditation, vipassana meditation. Now, the thing is, we don't let go by trying to forcefully make our mind let go of something. We don't force our way there. You will begin to notice very quickly that you cannot control your mind like a computer, right? You can't just put in some keys, some commands, and expect your mind to behave the way you want it to. It doesn't work like that. For example, if I tell you right now, don't think of a blue elephant, you can't stop thinking of a blue elephant. It doesn't work that way. Letting go, from my understanding, is often a result of the cultivation of awareness through diligent and years of practice of meditation even, where your mind begins to learn that attachment onto things or clinging onto things is not worth it in the end, because all phenomena arises and ceases. It is impermanent. It is not worth clinging on to something that is impermanent because it leads to suffering. That's my understanding of it in a nutshell. In order to be able to do that or embody that, you have to generate and cultivate awareness through meditation work, through meditation practice, through awareness practices. Right? I myself have not been able to achieve that, but I look at it as something valuable to work towards as a long-term goal for my own personal development, and I invite you to do the same as well. But you see, letting go is often a spiritual practice. You can look at it like that, a spiritual practice, and it is the result of training your mind to have absolute clarity, have absolute awareness, clarity on the experience just as it is, and be completely in tune with reality for what it truly is. Be in the present moment in the truest sense. Your mind will gradually understand that, again, things rise and cease. So it's not worth clinging on to, because clinging on to those things will lead you to suffer. It is much better to see things as they are in the present moment and be still, be present, and that will bring about inner joy and peace. And that's my understanding of the theory. So you see what I mean, right? If we have a culture that often says, let it go, let that girl go, let that guy go, let that work go, let that material go, saying those things to somebody who is faced with a difficult situation in life, who hasn't had the opportunity to practice these awareness techniques, it will be very difficult for them to achieve this, and it will feel very far-fetched. It will feel beyond their ability to achieve it. And when they feel that it's far beyond their ability to achieve it, in a sense, it discourages them. You see what I mean? What that individual who is faced with a stressful event in life, what that individual really wants in that level of his or her development, I would argue, is they would really want to be able to embody a psychological skill set in being able to manage that stressful or difficult challenge in life. And I talk about that in many of my previous videos, right? Again, put simply, what is the component of stress? Why do we feel stressed? Why does anybody feel stressed, anxious, worried, panic, fears, phobias, depression, out of control, or feel hopeless and helpless? We only ever have an experience where we feel those things in situations where we feel that we cannot control or predict it. Cannot control or predict it. Now, control and prediction can be put simply seen as two main skills. One skill is direct management, the skill to directly manage and control or avoid a given situation, right? If it's gonna be rainy season now, I gotta go outside, I don't want to be soaked in the rain when I'm traveling, I can control to some extent by bringing an umbrella with me. That's direct control. But of course, we cannot always control all situations in life, right? No matter what happens due to life's uncertainty, things will sooner or later play out in ways that we would not hope it would. So what do you do in that situation to still remain feeling in control and feeling powerful? You would want to have a strong skill set in the second part. That is, strong, genuine skill set in your ability to manage, cope with, and tolerate the difficult emotions that come up in that situation, right? An individual that has both of these skills, which have been developed to a certain extent, will feel relatively confident in the face of any challenge in life. And that is what most people truly want when they're faced with a difficult situation in life. They don't really want to let go per se, because that is actually, to be honest, obviously a very difficult thing to achieve. Now, I encourage us all to work towards it and to find for ourselves what it means. I myself am on a journey. I haven't reached it myself, but I think it's a good thing to strive towards as a long-term life goal, as a long-term skill to develop, self-awareness skills. But what I'm trying to say in this video is that when you are bombarded with a message to let go when you're faced with a difficult situation, let go of that mean coworker, let go of that ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, let go of that, the damages that were the result of the flooding that happened to your home, to your car, or anything like that. Some people can't let go. But what is much more relatively easy to achieve is a skill set in being able to manage that difficult situation and manage your own emotions in dealing with it. And I think this is a small distinction to make, but very important one, because when you're bombarded with a message to let it go, in a sense, it feels discouraging potentially. It potentially feels discouraging simply because of the fact that you begin to feel that it is so hard to achieve. How can I let go? I'm human. I'm attached. I have attachments. I have desires. How can I let go? Right? Now again, this video would make a lot more sense in the Thai context or in the Thai language, because it has directly to do with the way Thai language explains this, or the way Thai culture looks at this. But I wanted to also communicate it here in English. The point is, when faced with a difficult situation in life, what we really want is strong, deep psychological foundations that helps us to develop genuine self-confidence and real belief in ourselves, in our skill set, to be able to get through that difficult challenge or curveball that life throws at us. Right? It is a different thing than truly letting go in a sense of what the monks are trying to achieve. It's a different thing. Now you can also argue that they can run parallel, they can go together, right? Because if you want to practice awareness skills, meditation skills, you would still need a strong psychological foundation, a belief in your skill set to be able to practice those skills, because it's not an easy skill to develop in the truest sense, right? So I want to share this as food for thought in today's video, that when somebody tells you to let it go, and you just feel that you can't, you're human. I get it. I think what we would really want in those types of situations is to have the genuine skill set and confidence that you can manage and get through this difficult chapter in life, per se, right? So I wanted to make that distinction, that there are always two ways to solve a certain problem in life. One is through psychological training. You're still trapped in the mental processes of your mind. You're still trapped in mental faculties of your mind that are more helpful for you to deal with that difficult challenge. But a higher level of wisdom to attain would be through direct self-awareness. But that comes as a result of years of consistent practice in self-awareness. At least that's my understanding of it. Now, I don't want to say that to be discouraging, because years of practice might seem like a big investment. But I think that we continue to grow along the journey, and the fruits that we get along the path, they're well worth it. So keep that in mind and try to continue to practice both ways, right? Line them up together. When you have a stressful situation in life, you want to have the skill set to manage it. At the same time, you want to understand the nature of life, the impermanence of life. And that understanding hopefully is an inspiration for us to be pointed towards, to point our compasses towards something more deeper, something that is in line with genuine peace, genuine joyfulness, in a state of what they would call being in the present moment, that we can all continue to work towards and achieve one day, sooner or later, hopefully. All right, wanted to share this as food for thought. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was valuable for you. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please share the video. And don't forget, Konpop is also on YouTube, on Facebook, and I have my other page as well, my coaching page, Drive Your Point. Be sure to check me out there as well. And I'll see you next time. สวัสดีครับ